Well, hello, my friends and fellow investigators with the NATF. I want to just take a brief moment to go over the options that you have as the final step for your notice and demand. Okay. A number of our members have been sending out notices with demands to their fellow public servants. And unfortunately, some of those have been ignored. And our public servants have defaulted, therefore acquiescing to the charges that are being levied against them as damages for trespass. Okay, so let's just review the general process here real quick. We first send the notice and demand. It's a friendly letter saying, hey, Bob, I know you will sometimes act as governor, and I want to let you know that you're doing some things wrong here. All right. X, Y, and Z are unauthorized. You do not have authority. And therefore, there's no lawful basis for it. And in the process of doing so, you're violating my rights, which you've taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and sworn to protect those rights. All right. So I'm only seeking remedy. The remedy is you stop doing what you're doing and take corrective action. If you don't do that, then it's a willful trespass upon my rights. And here's what I charge for those types of trespasses. All right, so it's your choice. Either correct your unlawful behavior or pay for the damages you're causing. Okay, so that goes out. That's the notice and demand. You give him 10 days to respond with full notice that if he fails to respond and show good faith in correcting his actions and bringing remedy to the situation, then he's acquiescing to the facts that you are stating. And now it's a willful violation, which could possibly bring criminal charges. Okay, but we're not interested in criminal. We just want the civil. So he defaults, you send him a notice of default absolute. And with that, you send a final invoice, right? You sent the invoice payable within 7 days upon receipt or whatever. He fails to pay the invoice, you send a late notice. Please pay, here are the instructions. This is the invoice. These are the payment instructions. He fails to pay, he's now in default and dishonor to what he's agreed to pay you by his silence. All right, so that's the process, and you know that already. Just wanted to review that. So now, what's the next step? How do we collect? All right, now there's 3 options that we have. One, you can take it into county court and request a summary judgment. Some people may not be real comfortable with that because they're not familiar with the courtroom so much. All right. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it as a legal person. You can do it, secondly, in your court in common law. And the beautiful thing about common law is anybody can do it. It's simple. It's very simple. But you can't let them trap you into stepping over that line from common law into their statutory world, where the judge then becomes a judicial officer instead of a magistrate, merely coordinating your court. All right. So if you go that route, you really need to take the course, the law common to I. All right. Lorna has put up some promos on that. And I'll be putting up transcripts of the courses that I took. I went through the course. There's like 5 sessions. I'll be putting up the transcripts of that in our self-governance and common law course. Actually, it's going to go in the legal defense channel, which is bundled with the self-governance course. Okay. So that'll be up there. And I suggest you study that and convene your court in common law, file it with the county court clerk, use their building for your court. All right. Now, there's a third option, and this is the quick and easy way. All right. The third option means you're not going to get, millions of dollars in damages or whatever the larger amounts are that you've been invoicing. All right. But what you do is you take it to small claims court. Each state has a maximum allowable claim in their small claims. Okay. So look that up in the statutes. Look up small claims court, learn all about it. What's the maximum amount you can claim? Go in with your invoice for, $250,000. All right. And file your claim for $25,000. The beautiful thing about small claims is that it's the closest thing to common law that there is. Okay. You don't need an attorney. You simply file your claim, file the case, state your claim. When the case is called, you present your documents, you explain what you did, you verify that service was properly handled, that he did receive those, and you've got proof of service with your certified return receipt cards, and you've given him notice, you've acted in good faith, you've given him late notices, all right, and you've gone through the whole process, and he's failed to respond, all right? You've completed the process, it's correct. The judge needs to give you an award for the amount of your claim, which is $25,000, okay? Now, that's not going to make you rich, but that's not the objective here. You will get some cash flow out of it, and praise God for that. That's a beautiful thing. If you can get $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, that would really be a nice little bonus, wouldn't it? But think of this. Think if we had dozens and dozens of people who are doing the same thing and hauling the governor, hauling the director of the state health department, hauling the sheriff, hauling the judge, whoever, into small claims. And the claim isn't against the judge or the sheriff. It's against Bob Hall, who lives on Main Street, who also sometimes acts as the judge or the sheriff. So you're not suing the title, you're going after the man in common law. And you can do that because he wasn't authorized to be doing what he was doing. And so he does not have that title. He does not have sovereign immunity, judicial immunity, or any other form of immunity. All right. So let's do this. Let's get as many people as we can filing against the same individual. All right. And have them spending all of their time showing up in small claims court, getting hammered. Okay. Now, the other alternative is if you want to go to county court, chances are that case you could file the claim, and that case might not come up on the docket for possibly 2 or 3 months. Now, in the meantime, as long as that case is pending, you can file a lis pendens lien on the assets of that individual to freeze his assets until the court has made a determination. And that's perfectly legal. You can also file public notices that a claim has been made against Governor Walz for $2.5 million. Anybody who would contest this claim can respond at this address. You file that in the legal notices in the newspaper. All right, that goes out to all the credit bureaus. So regardless of what happens in the courtroom, for 2 or 3 months, you can really play with their minds in screwing up their credit. And just that alone will get their attention. And just think, if they get one of these, then another, then another, then another. Think about the effect that will have. Do you think you might get their attention? All right. You think you might possibly get some corrective action? All right. So different ways you can go with that, but anybody can do this. And if necessary, our legal team would be more than happy to perhaps provide a little coaching for you on that in relation to court filings and so forth. So let's do it. That notice and demand is extremely powerful. We have to put it to work and we have to seal the deal. Okay. That's the most potent weapon we have in America. And we need to get this out to people. And once we start getting a couple successes, it's going to be Katie bar the door, and we will have a national impact once word starts getting out as to what you are doing with your notice and demand. Okay, so we can talk further about this in the forum, but I wanted to share this with you and get you on track. So I know a lot of you have been waiting, and I apologize for the delay in getting this information out to you. I've been dealing a little bit with bronchitis here and have been probably a couple of weeks behind on getting my videos out. As you can tell, my voice is still a little weak. So there you have it. All right, let's get busy. Take care. God bless. Hope to see you soon.